How about a bedtime story, Holly? Let's see, where should we start? I think this one should be about... You're too tired for the bedtime story, you're already yawning. I think this one should be about a fairy. Specifically the kind of fairy that flies around, not the boat. I don't think you're especially aware of either. You've been on ferries, though. The boat kind, obviously. But I bet you just slept through it. Yeah. Just sat on the seat in the car and just slept and slept and slept. You really like napping in the car. Oh, that's a loud bird. I don't know what kind of bird that is. Interesting. Anyways, fairies. The sort with wings, the sort that fly around. Also, I think they ought to be sparkly, like vampires. Twilight style. Okay, so this fairy, let us call her... Oh, it's a woodpecker, and it's on the apple tree. I need to actually spook that. Just a second, Ollie. We got other business to attend to. Woodpecker, go away! Shoo! Ow, I stepped on a rock. Stop it. Go away. Go away! I don't know how to get you to go away. You can fly and I can't, so you know things. Let me zoom in. Where did he... There we go. He flew away. This was a very blurry attempt to scare away a woodpecker. Alright. Back to the holly dog. Let's try not to step on rocks on the way there, because I am not properly attired. Okay, Holly, we scared away the woodpecker. Now, this fairy, it's all sparkly, you know, like Edward from Twilight. You do not know the canon, you don't know Twilight. Okay, so, this fairy, she's got a plant name, like you. She's called Poppy. Yeah, poppy, like the flower. We have poppies here. You know what a poppy is. You probably don't. I don't know if you know botany. Is that botany? Anyways, there's a fairy, and her name is Poppy. And she's really peppy fairy. Poppy, the peppy fairy, got some cheerleading skills maybe. She's like the cheerleader of the fairies because that's... See, the fairies, they have a different kind of government, and actually the leader of their government is the peppiest of them all. Like, cheer captain style is... I don't actually know anything about cheerleading. But basically their head cheerleader is the head of their government. That's how it works. So she's real peppy, real peppy. But the fairies... They have some enemies, alright? They got some enemies. The most notable enemies being, owls. The owls like to eat them, because they're tiny. These are tiny fairies. And the owls, they're not so peppy. They're just chill and kind of hungry, to be honest. They're rather hungry most of the time, especially for fairies. Way hungry for fairies. That's like their favorite food. Is this tiring you, Holly? It's just not exciting. You don't understand. You don't like... You think owls are scary too. One flew at you one time, and then now anytime you see an owl, you hide. Yeah. So the fairies, they're right to be scared. You're also scared. You're a scaredy dog. Okay, anyways. So, the owls... They're real hungry, and they're like, okay, so we really want some nice tasty fairy. And honestly, the peppier the fairy, the tastier it is. Like, you know, they're like extra sweet, kind of like figs. I don't know, man. So they want to eat the cheer captain government leader fairy called Poppy, who's extra peppy. So they've got a secret plan. See, the owls, they've got a parliament, they're like very organized, and they're gonna try to take out the leader of the fairies, the head of their government, CIA style. Okay, so, you don't know what the CIA is either. You don't know about their many actions throughout history, throughout their existence. Regardless. Anyways, so the owls, their parliament, they're trying to take out their government leader of the fairies, CIA style. Although they're not trying to replace them with a puppet or something, because they just kind of want to eat her. And really, they'd like whoever to replace her to be like the second Peppiest, and then they can eat her later. Also, I think I've decided that all of the fairies are female. They reproduce asexually. Yep, they're like lizards. Not all lizards. Whatever kind of lizard does that. Okay. Anyways, okay. So, the threat exists. The owls, their parliament, they're wanting to go after the peppiest of the fairies. I don't know how they're going to decide who eats the fairy. I guess Parliament's decided it's probably the richest fairy, because I guess the owls believe in capitalism. Okay. So they come after the fairies. But what the owls don't know is the fairies have actually made a secret alliance. Yeah. They made the secret alliance with the turkey vultures. Because, see, the turkey vultures, I mean, they're not the prettiest of birds. They don't really vibe with the fairies in looks. Aesthetically, they do not match. But they're actually, like, they vibe. They've just got this sort of, like, air about them. The fairies are like, you have internal beauty, and we really appreciate that. So the turkey vultures and the fairies, they're actually friends. The fairies will, like, help them find different, like, corpses to eat, and the turkey vultures will protect them. It's a really great relationship, actually. It's like, it's just nature at work, you know? Just different creatures kind of building these alliances for the benefit of both of them. A symbiotic relationship, you know? Yeah, so with the owls don't know that. So they come after the peppiest fairy, but actually it's a trap, because secretly the turkey vulture's favorite food is actually owls. So it's actually, well, it actually kind of is a little bit like CIA shenanigans, in that the turkey vultures they've had a very long relationship with the fairies. It's just very secretive. So they have actually had it. They instigated the policy where the peppiest fairy was the leader of the fairies. It fit the fairies' vibe, so they were like, yeah, we'll go for that. Because then having that policy in practice means that everyone knows that the peppiest fairy is the leader, and therefore the owls know that is the most desirable fairy to eat, because sweet like a fig. So it's a trap. It's bait, really. It's also functional government. Like, they actually, like, the fairies are very, very good and functional. I mean, it's not democracy exactly, because it's whoever's the peppiest, so I guess it's kind of like, you know, like Wakanda or whatever, where they, like, in, like, that movie, where they, like, fight, and whoever's, like, the toughest or something, whoever beats the challenge gets to be, like, in charge. I have not seen this movie in a very long time. But so it's like a it's like there's a cheer battle, actually. There's a cheer battle, and that's how they pick the peppiest fairy. And then that fairy goes on to be the leader of the government, and very good leader of the government, and also bait. So, anyways, the owls come after the peppiest fairy, called Poppy. And then they don't know what they've walked into, because they show up, and they're very organized and all. But the turkey vultures are even more organized, like maximum organization right there. So, the turkey vultures, the trap is set. They go after the owls. The owls come into the fairy government building, and they try to go after the peppiest fairy, but then they're trapped. It's actually like, it's like a crab catching net, like those like crab catcher things you put in the ocean. It's like that. They fly in, they can't leave, and the turkey vultures, they eat them all. And then, well, not all of them. They obviously didn't send every single owl into the fairy government building. That would have been chaotic. They just sent like the best of the best. But the turkey vultures, well, they're better. They're just better. So they eat all of the owls that are sent. So the owls are now lacking in their troop of the most impressive owls. That that owl, that special elite owl team, so they've all been eaten. And the turkey vultures are nice and full, and the fairy government still exists and is still functional, and things continue on. And still, it's a secret in that none of the owls get out of the building, so the owls that remain, they don't know what happened to the owls inside. As far as they know, the fairies just like super tough or something, because the turkey vultures were inside the building, they weren't outside, they weren't visible, nobody knows, other than the fairies and the turkey vultures, about the alliance. Yeah. So it remains a secret. All the owls that know are dead. And then, for a good while, the owls, they will not fight again. They will not go after this peppy fairy, or the fairies in general, because they're like, what on earth are the fairies capable of? But eventually, they'll forget, and they'll once again think to themselves, if only we could eat the sweetest fairy of all the fairies, the one that tastes most fig-like, the one that is the peppiest of them all. And one day, generations from now, they will once again storm the fairy government building to eat their government leader, and they will, once again, be obliterated and consumed entirely by the turkey vultures. The end.